Might Betty be hardy soon?
Out of here.
Might Betty not gonna die?
Out of my sight. Out of my... Oh my God, God help me. Betty, child, dear child, will you wake when you opened up your eyes? Betty, little one.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Briggs.
Oh, the doctor? Let her come. Let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
Dr. Griggs, he bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
That he must touch on.
Aye, sir. He'd been searching his books since he left you, sir. But he bid me tell you you may look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
No. No. There were no unnatural causes here. Tell myself Reverend Hale Beverly, Mr. Hale, he will surely confirm that. Limits medicine compel all thought of unnatural causes. There could none.
Aye, sir. He bid me tell you.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
For the Becky home will speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir. I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you'd best go down and deny it for yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. Let you tell them I confessed it. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle, and when you leaped in on us so suddenly, Betty was frightened, and then she fainted, and that's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, child, I have no desire to punish you. That will come this time, but if you trap the spirits in the forest, I must know of it. For sure my enemies will never bring me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
The market should not move itself since midnight. This child is desperate and must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I know it, Uncle.
There's a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very cause of some obscene practices, abominations that done before
That
us.
were only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tituba when her arms were on fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard her screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her native songs, and we dance.
I cannot believe what I saw, Abigail. For my enemies were not being hit. I saw a dress lying in the grass.
A dress?
I dressed, and I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I thought. Now tell me true, Abigail. My ministry is at stake. My ministry perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abominations you have done, give me all of it now, for I dare not to be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
That's the whole of it. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, is there any other cause my father is charging you? It has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of the house, and all this time no other family has come for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them look to other places for that. I'll not black my face for any of them.
No, I cannot have anyone. Why, we Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, we Putnam.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, I'm sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over the Ingersoll's barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now look you, Winnie Putnam. She never... Why, Mr. Putnam, good morning.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's up, sir? What?
Why, her eyes is open. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is closed.
Your little Ruth is sick?
I'm not call it sick. The devil's talk just haven't been sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into the forked hoof.
Well, pray not. How did the child ill?
She ill as she must. She never waked this morning with her eyes open, and she walks, and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in Argonne arts, and
He has indeed and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Ann, there is not the word witch. I am certain there will be no element of witchcraft here.
no witchcraft. Now look you.
Thomas, pray not. Leap not to witchcraft. I know you least of all, Thomas, when this such a dash was charged upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They were hounding out of state for such corruption in my house.
Now look you, Mr. Paris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue to do so, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But Thomas, you cannot.
And tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Miss Reverend Paris, I have taken 7 babies unbaptized in spirit. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoken nothing, but my heart has clamored intimation. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels those sucking mouths are pulling on her life, too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? Well, what made Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Good hand. It is a familiar sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us what person murdered my baby?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris, and mark this proof? Mark it. Last night my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. For how else now is she struck dumb except some powerful force of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I.
Now I am
Tituba
undone.
and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house? In my house, Thomas. They were topping me with this. They'll make it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I fear no more, Betty Putnam. It was a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake your wits together.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I'll pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down?
No. I'll wait till Mr. Hill arrives.
Now look you, sir. Go down with them, speak with them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word. Won't you pray with them?
I have no stomach for disputation this morning. I will lead him with song, but let you speak nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came here. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear?
Aye, Mom.
If she calls the window, cry for me at once.
Yes, Uncle.
There was a terrible pound of arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty? Betty, wake up now.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No, he'll find us. Now, look you, if they be questioning us, you can tell them we danced. I told them as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus.
What do we do? The whole village is out.
What do we do?
I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
They'll be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done none of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren?
Betty? Betty, dear, it's Abigail.
No, be you, Betty!
My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa and I told him everything, so there's nothing.
I want my mama!
Betty, what are you talking about? Your mom is dead and buried.
Then I'll fly, Mama. Let me fly.
I talked to your papa, I told him everything, so there's nothing.
You drank blood, Abby. You drank blood. Betty, never say that again. You never did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Shut it now, shut it!
Mama.
Now look you, all of you. We danced. Tituba conquered Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And let either of you breathe a word, or the edge of the word about some of the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointed reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Oh, now you sit up and stop this!
What got her? Abby, she's going to die. It's a sin to conjure.
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I'm looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home. My wife's wait with your work.
I'd best be off. I've got my roof to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
She's only gone silly somehow. She'll come out of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John, sure you're not believing she flies.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night. My uncle leaped in on us. Betty took fright is all.
Dancing by the moonlight. You'll be collecting the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby. I've not come for that.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
I come to see only what mischief your uncle's brewing. You'll put it out of your mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
You'll put it out of your mind.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw in your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. Do you mean to tell me you've never looked up at my window?
Perhaps I have.
I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming, cannot dream, but I wake as though I find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may have thought of you softly from time to time, but I'll cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. For you'll put it out of your mind, Abby. We never touched.
We did.
But we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is a cold, sniveling, envious woman, and you bend her. Let her turn you like.
Do you look her a whipping?
I look for John Proctor that put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I had been taught by Christian women and her covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor. And whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty?
Girl, what else?
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty?
She heard you singing and suddenly she
The soul, she cannot bear you in the Lord's name.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for a sign, mark it.
That's a notorious sign of witchcraft, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that, and I cannot bear to hear the name of.
Becca, come to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name. There's a hard Egyptian child supporting you. Please keep quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify that I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? Here she flies.
Man, be quiet.
What have you done? Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma, and I have seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, trying to keep up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still. And for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered. Rebecca, she cannot eat. Perhaps she is not hungry yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you are not decided to go in search of blue spirits. I've heard promise of that outside.
Oh, why the pain is running in the Paris that the devil may be among us. And now it's that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you our minister or Mr. Hale? Did you consult with the wardens of the church before you called this minister to look for devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he comes. This will send us all to argument again in this society. We thought to have peace this year. I think we ought to rely on Dr. Griggs now. Rebecca, the doctor's back. If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in the seeking of blue spirits. I fear it, I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I'm one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this village, and yet I have one child left of 8, and now she shrivels
I cannot fathom that. You think it God's work that you should never lose a child, nor a grandchild either, and I bury all but one?
When Reverend Hale arrives, you will continue to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command Mr. Paris. We vote by name in the society, not by acreage.
Wow, well, I have not seen you so worried on the society, Mr. Proctor. I think not have seen you in Sabbath meetings since snow flew.
I have trouble enough that I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others that will stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentions God anymore.
Why, that's a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is that the children who are on my portfolio obligations toward this ministry. Whereas my wood, my contract provides that I be supplied with all my firewood. I am waiting in November for a stick. And even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You are allowed 6 pounds a year to buy your wood, Mr. Paris.
I am paid without I spend 6 pounds. My salary is 66 pounds, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book in my arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
I am well instructed in mathematics.
Mr. Corey, you look far from it at my kind of 60 pounds a year. I do not fathom it. While my improper persecuted here, I cannot offer one proposition, but there would be a howling right of the argument in another. Sometimes I wonder if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister that ever did demand a deed to this house.
I am your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be held like the captain of some majority feels the wind. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister should not be seen by the cross and contradicted. There's either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without me land in hell again? I'm sick of hell.
It's not good for you to say what's good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
Want to be Quakers? We are not Quakers yet. Tell it to your followers.
My followers?
There was a party at this church. I am not blind. There was a party and a faction.
Against you.
Against him and all authority.
Why, then I must find it and join it.
He does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I've cropped to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man, John. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. Never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind that this is what's been causing us our trouble all these years. Think on it, wherefore everybody is suing everybody else. I've been in court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
John Proctor, I have only last month collected 4 pounds in damages for you publicly saying that I burned the roof of your house.
I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you old without charge. Come on, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
I'll be damned first.
Why, pardon if I ask, Mr. Proctor, but what lumber is it you're dragging home?
My lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, have we gone wild this year? What anarchy is this? That tract is on my bounds. It's on my bounds.
Your bounds? I bought that tract off Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
While it stands clear in my grandfather's will that the land between the river and
Your grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he even said his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel a sudden will to work coming on.
You low one over mine, you'll have to fight to drag it home.
I will win too, Putnam, this fool and I. Come on.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a rate on you.
Pray you someone take these.
Mr. Hale, it's so good to see you. My, they're heavy.
It must be, they are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study that comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It is strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as a good soul should. We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this man? Mr. Thomas Putnam and his good wife, Anne.
Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not seem to help us today, sir. We go to you to come to our home and save our child.
Her child ails too.
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat. Cannot.
Please, tell me, do these men also have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers. John Proctor.
We don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, I think not, John. I have a few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
All right. I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I'll hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Look at my daughter, sir. She has tried to leap out the window, but this morning we found her on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly.
That's a sure sign of wish at the foot.
No, let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are as definite as stone. And we must look only for the proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And let me tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me, should I find no trace of hell in this.
It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece Abigail in the forest with 10 girls dancing.
Dancing? You permit dancing?
No, it was secret.
Mr. Paris has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure that, Goody Ann.
I know it. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Ann, you sent a child to conjure up dead?
Let God blame me, not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Mr. Hale, is it a natural act to lose 7 children before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth.
Aye.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here lies all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, by sea, your wizards of the night and day. Have no fear, if the devil is among us now, I mean to find him out and crush him utterly if he shows his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we might open up the door to all our troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you're not going to go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Why, come, Mr. Paris, let's get on.
Mr. Hale, I've always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of these strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I have awoken many a times to find her in a corner reading of a book. Now, what do you make of that?
That's not necessarily...
It discomfits me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers, and then suddenly she closed up her book and walked out of the house, and then suddenly, mark this, I could pray again.
Stop your prayer. That is interesting. I should like to speak on that further with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I still admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them, don't you see?
I will discuss it. Now, mark me. If the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, can you sit her up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I have come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly?
How good with the devil? Why don't you use my house to strike?
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already had? It is the best the devil wants, and who better than a minister?
That's deep, Mr. Paris, deep.
Does someone afflict your child? It need not be a man, mind you, or a woman. Perhaps some figure in the form of a bird or pig. Is there some figure bids you fly? In nomine Domine Sabaoth, si filique ite ad infernos. Now, Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the woods?
Why, common dancing is all.
I ought to say that I saw a kettle in the grass where they were dancing.
But that were only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think.
Mr. Paris, did you notice, anything living in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps? A spider? A frog?
The frog jumped in, we never put it in.
A frog, Abby!
We never put it in.
Abigail, maybe that your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba called him.
She called the devil?
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Leanne, we fetch her up, please.
How did you call him?
I know not. She spoke native.
Abigail, when you called him, did you notice a sudden strangeness, a gust of wind, perhaps a trembling beneath the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up, Betty.
Not evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink any?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink
She
it?
tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I did drink up the kettle. She
can she not wake? Are you silencing this
I
child?
love my Betty.
You've sent your spirit out upon her, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sent her spirit on me in church. She made me laugh at prayer.
She have often laughed at prayer.
I'll tell you something. Sometimes I think I hear her in my sleep making dream corruptions. You begged me, Calendar Abbey. She begged me to come. And I find myself standing in an open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep, singing her native songs, tempting me.
Woman, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power over this child, sir.
You most certainly do, and you will loose her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact with no devil.
You will confess yourself, I would take you out and beat you to your death, Tituba.
This woman must be hanged.
No,
She
no.
will be taken and
Don't hang
hanged.
Tituba. I tell my donors I don't work for him no more, sir.
The devil? Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is difficult to break free. We're going to help you tear yourself of it entirely. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
I, sir, I don't desire to harm
And you
little
love
children.
God, Tituba.
I love God with all my being.
Now, in God's holy name,
Bless him, bless him.
and to his eternal
Eternal
glory,
bless him, bless
open
him.
yourself and let God's light shine on you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Someone from the village? Someone you know?
Who came with him?
Goody Ann? Goody nurse? Who came with him?
Was woman.
You must have no fear to give us their names. The devil cannot harm you. He cannot hurt a minister. You know that, do you not?
Oh, well, I, sir, I do.
You've confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side. And we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument placed in our hands to discover the devil's agents among us. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, and God will protect you.
Oh, God protect Tituba.
How many came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4? How many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who?
Oh, God, how many times have you bid me kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me?
He said Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris, mean man. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. He bid you rise out of my bed and cut your throat. And I tell him, no, I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he's saying, you work for me, Tituba, and I set you free. I give you a pretty dress to wear, but you hide in the air and you got to fly back to your native land. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. But then one stormy night he came to me and said, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look and there is Sarah Good.
Sarah Good?
I'm Sarah Goody Osborne.
I know it's Goody Osborne would midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas. I begged you not to call her because I feared her. My baby's always shrivels in her hands.
No fear, you must tell us all their names. How can you bear to see this child suffering? Look at her, Tituba. The devil is preying on her like the beast on the flesh of a pure lamb. God will bless
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howard with the devil. I saw Goody Sinner. I saw Bob with the devil. I saw Goody Marshall.
Let the marshal bring irons!
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
I were planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you done that?
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? Jonathan's trap?
No, she wandered into the house this afternoon. Sat in the corner like she'd come to visit.
Well, that's a good sign.
It hurt my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
good all night George Jacob's heaven. Would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
Oh, as far as the continent, when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me and we'll walk the farm together. I've never seen such a load of flowers in the spring. Massachusetts is a beauty.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You were out so late, I thought you'd go to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You spoke with Lowen earlier this week?
I've thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her?
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault, Elizabeth. It is a fault. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She framed all my strength away.
How made that mouse frightened?
It is no mouse no more. I forbid her go, and she lift her chin like the daughter of a prince and say to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They brought 4 judges out of Boston, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
Would to God she were. She says that there will be 14 people in the jail now, and they'll be tried, and the court have power to hang them too, she says.
Hang? They'd never hang.
And the deputy governor promised hanging if they won't confess. The town's gone wild, I think. Mary Warren speaks of Abigail as though she were a saint to hear her. They bring in all the girls, and where Abigail walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. They bring in folks in front of them, and if Abigail wail and cry and fall to the ground, they'll throw them in the jail for bewitching her.
It was a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. Tell them it is a fraud.
It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. Tell him what you said to you in her uncle's house. She said it had not to do with witchcraft, did she not?
She did. She did.
I think you must go to Salem, John.
I must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
You need to go to Salem, John. Let you go tonight.
I will think on it.
John, they must be told.
I said I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove the girl's a fraud. If she's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove what she said. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her.
For a moment alone,
Why, then, is it not as you told me?
For a moment, I say it. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no.
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
We're not advocating. Would you falter now? I think not.
Now look you.
I see what I see, John.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth? Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me and judge me not.
I do not judge you, John. The magistrate that sits on your heart and judges you. I never thought you but a good man, only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what of the proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you're paid £9 a year to do? My wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, it is unfair comment.
We all must love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early tomorrow and clean the house, but I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
What? No, Sarah, there be 39 now.
Infant, what ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say? The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must, but not Sarah Good, you see, for Sarah Good confessed.
Confess to what?
Well, that she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we all must worship hell forevermore. I know she's a jabberer, sir, but
You told them that she was a jabber. Did they not hear that in the court?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Mary, surely
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
I never heard you mention that before.
Well, I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman for she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there, denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air, and then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice, and all at once I remembered everything that she had done to me.
Why? What'd she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she came to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider, and mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled. Mumbled?
She may mumble hungry.
Aye, but what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, a Monday, I think, she walked away, and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I think I do, but...
And so I told that to Judge Hathorne, and he asks her, so, Goody Good, says he, what curse do you mumble that this girl may fall sick after turning you away? And she replies, why, your excellency, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
Well, that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hathorne says to her, recite for us your commandments. And of all the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Well, why, he must when she condemned herself.
But what of the proof? The proof?
I told you the proof. It's hard proof, hard as the rock, the judges say.
We'll not go to that court anymore, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It is a strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But, Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Goody Good will only sit in jail for some time. Oh, and here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Sarah Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim, and smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. Be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do, so I'll be gone every day for some time now. I'm an official of the court, they say, and
I'll official you.
I will not stand whipping no more, Mr. Proctor. The devil is loose in Salem, and we must discover where he's hiding.
I'll rip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today.
I am accused?
You are somewhat mentioned, but I told the court I never saw no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one, and seeing I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law, I cannot say. I hope you'll not be so sarcastical with me no more. 4 judges in the King's Deputy sat down to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
The noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
I knew it all week. She tried to get me.
Sit you down.
She's going to take my place, John.
Sit you down. We must be wise, Elizabeth.
Indeed, indeed.
Fear not, I'll see Ezekiel Cheever in the morning. I'll tell him she said it were all sport.
John, so many in the jail. I think more than that is needed now. Favor me with this. Go to Abigail.
What have I say to Abigail?
You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made
What
in any
promise?
man, spoke or silent. A promise is surely made, and she may dote on it now. I am sure she does. She thinks to kill me and to take my place. It is her dearest hope. There be hundreds of names. Why call mine? I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne drunk and half-witted. There be brisk in Holland such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
Then let you go. Tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it, John, break it.
Good then, I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly.
But grudge me not. Pray for me, not my anger.
Your anger, I only ask you.
Woman, do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
John, you told me you saw her in a room. Now you...
It speaks deceit, and I am honest. But I see now your spirit twists around a single error in my life, and I'll never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife, or no wife at all. She's an heirloom you get, John Proctor, you know as well.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Hale, good evening.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard no horse.
Your good wife Proctor?
Aye, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No. We were just not expecting any visitors. Come, let you sit.
I will. Let you sit, good wife Proctor.
Will you drink cider?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling yet tonight. I will not take up much of your time, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No, I come of my own without the court's authority. Hear me. I am not if you are aware, sir, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
Aye, we are aware. Our married warden told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it hard to draw a clear opinion, then become accused before the court. I have come now from Rebecca Nurse's house, and I find...
Rebecca's charged.
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, questioned somewhat.
I hope you would never believe, sir, that a woman like Rebecca would be trafficking with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
We are in strange times, mister. No man may longer doubt the powers of the dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, mister?
I have no knowledge in that line. But it's hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one, you cannot deny it. Nevertheless, she's far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions forward as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
We have no fear of questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are rarely in church on the Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
Only 26 times in 17 months, sir. I must call that rare.
I never knew that I must account to that man before I come to church or stay at home. My wife were sick this winter.
So I am told, but you, sir, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does. And it also says that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
Golden candlesticks.
When we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made it, you see. With sweeter hand never touched the metal. But after Paris came, he preached nothing but golden candlesticks for 20 weeks until he had them. I labor the earth from dawn of day to blink of night, sir, and I tell you true. When I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer.
It may be true, but as Christians still must be in church on the Sabbath day. Tell me, sir, you have 3 children?
Aye, boys.
How come it that only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Parrish should lay a hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man, I'll not deny it.
I'm afraid that's not for you to decide, Mr. Proctor. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
I have no suspicion.
I nailed the roof. I hung the door.
Did you? That's a good sign, then.
It may be we've been too quick to bring the man to book. But You cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion in my house, sir.
There is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think perhaps we have been too hard on Mr. Hale, but we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I do. I'm a covenant Christian woman.
Do you, mister?
I'm sure I do.
But you repeat them then.
The commandments?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear any false witness. Thou shalt honor the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not have any graven image before me.
You've said that one twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. See, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault, mister.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack or fault may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I pray it, sir. I pray it dearly. Good night.
Mr. Hale, sir, I do think you suspect me somewhat. Are you not?
Do not judge me, wife Proctor. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
You cannot keep it from him.
I have no evidence of this, except my word be taken. But I have knowledge that the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do with witchcraft.
Aye, sir.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail?
Aye.
Abigail Williams said it had naught to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why do you keep this?
I never knew until tonight that the world has gone so daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense. Mister, I myself have examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others who have confessed to dealings with the devil. They have confessed it, sir. They have confessed it.
And why not, if they may hang for denying it? There are them that will confess to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have, sir. And you would testify this in court.
I had not reckoned to going into court, but if I must, I will.
Ah, you falter there, sir. I think that you...
I falter nothing. But I am just wondering how my word be taken. If a minister such as yourself will suspect a woman, like my wife, who has never lied. In her life, she had never lied.
Proctor, let you open with me, for I have heard something that troubles me in the village. It is said you may not even believe there are witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I might have said. If there is witches in the Bible, then I do believe in them.
So surely you do believe that there are witches.
I believe in them.
And you, woman?
I cannot.
You cannot.
Elizabeth, you bewilder me.
If you say I am one, then I say there are none.
But surely you do believe that there are witches in the world.
If you say I am one, I say there are none.
You do not fly against the gospel. The gospel!
She believed in the gospel, sir, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer, and keep a solemn, quiet way about you. I think that
Giles, what's the matter?
They take my wife and Rebecca nurse.
Rebecca's charged.
John, Cheever come and take her in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail, and they'll not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak with the deputy governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Pray calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of this church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corey. There cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How is Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, sir, if Rebecca's tainted, there's nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning. Have faith in the justice of the court, sir, and the court will send her home. I know it.
You cannot mean she will be tried in court.
How may that woman murder babies, sir?
Man, remember, until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
What complaint were made against your wife, Mr. Corey?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, about 4 or 5 years ago, he bought a pig off of her. And then the pig died shortly after, and he came dancing in for his money back. And my Martha, she said to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you'll not live to own many. And now he claims that from that day forward, he has not been able to take care of a pig properly because my Martha bewitched him with her books.
Good evening, John Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to you.
I hope you do not come on business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I'm clerk at the court, no, you know.
It's such a shame that such an honest tailor who might have gone to heaven is now burned in hell. You'll burn for this, do you know it, Cheever?
I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles. And I'd as lief that you not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now, Proctor, believe me how heavy the law and all of this turns I carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
What say you? A warrant for my wife? You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it. When was she charged?
I'm giving 16 warrants, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
Abigail Williams? On what proof? What proof?
I have little time. Now, believe me, Proctor, the court gave me a warrant to get, for your wife to find a poppet. Do you keep any poppets in this house?
No, sir.
I haven't kept a puppet since I were a girl.
I spy a poppet, Kitty Proctor.
Why, that's very important.
Would you please give it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in poppets?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one until tonight.
It signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever.
Why, a poppet may signify. Now, woman, would you please come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth.
No, I'm forbidden to leave her from my sight.
You'll leave her out of sight and out of mind, Mr. Cheever. Fetch Mary.
Why? What matters so much about poppets now, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say a poppet may signify that. Why, this! Willie, come here!
What is it?
Why, it is a needle! Willie, it is a needle! You see it, sir?
And what signifies a needle?
Why, a needle. The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir, she sat to dinner in Reverend Paris' house tonight, and without word nor warning, she falls to the floor. Like a struck beast, he says. Scream to scream that a bull would weep to hear it. And he goes to save her, and he draws a needle out of her belly. And demanding of how she come to be so stabbed, she testified it was her wife's familiar spirit.
Why, she done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, Mr. Hale.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet Kitty Proctor keeps, and in the belly of the poppet a needle stuck. I never warranted to see such proof of hell. And I bid you obstruct me not, for I am not the one.
Here now, Mary. Whose poppet is this?
What puppet's that?
This poppet! This poppet!
Well, I think it is mine, sir.
It is your poppet, is it not?
It is, sir.
And who stuck the needle in?
I made it in court today and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Ward, a needle were found inside this poppet.
Well, I meant no harm by it, sir.
And you stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, sir.
Now, we're certain this be your natural memory. Perhaps even now someone may not be conjuring you to say this.
It conjures me. Why, no, sir. I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court today. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Now, sir, do you have it? Bid him begone. Bid him out.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no one.
Abigail were found stabbed tonight. A needle were found inside her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
Why, the cruelest murder! She must be ripped out of this world!
You heard that, sir? Ripped out of the world. You heard it, Willie.
Out of my house!
Now, Proctor!
Out of my house!
You dare not rip the deputy.
Dare the deputy war, Governor, out of my house!
Proctor, she's innocent.
If she is innocent, why has Paris never come into question, or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? Ugh!
Mr. Proctor.
John, I'll go.
You will not go!
John, I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
You will let this happen?
Mr. Proctor, the court is just.
Pontius Pilate! God will not let you wash your hands of this.
There is bread enough for the morning. We will bake in the afternoon. Be good to Proctor as though you were his daughter. You owe me that and much more.
And yet you're silent, minister? It is fraud. You know it is fraud.
Elizabeth, fear not.
I will fear not.
I will crash like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing.
Tell the children I've gone to visit someone sick.
Do not chain her. Damn you, man, you will not chain her. Willard, I will surely pay you for this.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now let you keep inside this house until I am gone.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in the court. God help me, I do not know if she is innocent. I know her not. Only think this. The world goes mad, and it profit nothing should you lay the cause of that vengeance on a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
I cannot think God be so grandly provoked by such a petty cause. The jails are packed, our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were there some secret murder that were never brought to light, blasphemy, an abomination that stinks to high heaven, look on cause, man, and let you help me to find it. For there is your way, there is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world. I shall pray you all counsel upon yourselves and your village on what may have brought such a thundering wrath upon us all. I pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Go home, Francis. Go home.
John, tell me, are we lost?
We'll speak on it tomorrow, eh, Giles? Go home now.
I'll come early, eh? I'll help you load off some of that wood.
Aye. Go home now.
See you tomorrow, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given the proper evidence.
You're coming to the court with me.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will say what you know in the court.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abby will charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it. She will ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then our saintliness is done with. We'll slide together into our pit.
I cannot tell the court what I know. They'll turn on me. I cannot.
My wife will never die for me. I'll bring your guts into your mouth, but my wife will never die for me.
I cannot do it. I cannot.
Hell and heaven grapple our backs now, and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace.
I cannot.
Peace! It is a providence and no great change. We are what we always were in Salem, but naked now. I naked. And the wind, God's icy wind will blow.
I cannot.
I'm to speak with you, Abigail. Will you sit?
How do you come?
Friendly.
I don't like the woods at night. Pray you come closer. I knew it must be you. Before I heard the pebbles on my window, before I opened my eyes, I knew. I thought you would come a great deal sooner.
I thought to come many times.
Why hadn't you? I'm so alone in the world.
Are you? I've heard boys ride 100 miles to see your face these days.
My face. Can you see my face?
Then you're troubled?
Have you come to mock me?
No. Only that I hear you go to the tavern every night to play shuffleboard and the deputy governor gives you cider.
I have once or twice played the shuffleboard, but I have no enjoyment in it.
This is a surprise, Abby. I thought to find you gayer than this. I'm told a troop of boys go step for step with you wherever you walk these days.
Aye, they do. But I've only lewd looks from the boys.
You like that not?
I cannot bear lewd looks anymore, John. My spirit's changed entirely. I ought to be given godly looks when I suffer for them, as I do.
Oh? And how do you suffer?
Why, look at my legs. Pins and needles all over from their damn needles. The jab your wife's gave me not yet healed, you know.
Oh, it isn't.
Sometimes I think she pricks it open again while I sleep.
Oh?
And George Jacobs, he comes every night and grabs me on my arm, the same spot all week. Look at the lump I have.
Abby, George Jacobs has been in month. All this month.
Thank God he is, and bless the day he hangs. Oh, John, the world's so full of hypocrites. They pray in jail. I'm told they pray in jail.
They may not pray.
And torture me in my bed while holy words are coming from their mouths? It will take God himself to cleanse this town properly.
Abby, you mean to cry out still others?
If I live, if I am not murdered, I surely will until the last one is dead.
Then there is no one good.
Aye, there is one. You are good.
I am good. How am I good?
Why, you taught me goodness, therefore you are good. It were a fire you walked me through and burned all my ignorance away. It were a fire, John, we lay in fire. And from that moment on, I knew my answer. I used to weep for my sins when the wind lifted up my skirts or blushed for shame because some old Rebecca called me loose. And then you burned all my ignorance away. As bare as some December tree, I saw them, walking like saints to church, running to feed the sick, and hypocrites in their hearts. And God gave me strength to call them liars, and God made men listen to me, and by God, I will scrub the world clean again for the love of him. Oh, John, I will make you such a wife when the world is white again. You will be amazed to see me in our house. Why are you cold?
My wife goes to trial in the morning, Abigail.
Your wife?
Surely you knew of it?
I think I had heard it. How is she?
She's as well as she may be, 36 days in that place.
You said you came friendly.
I come only to tell you what I will do tomorrow morning in the court.
You brought me from my bed to speak of her?
I have brought you proof and documents that you bade that puppet were none of my wife's, and that you yourself bade Mary Warren to stab
I bade Mary Warren.
You knew what you do. You were not so mad.
Oh, hypocrites, why do you let them send you? John, they send you, they steal your honesty.
I have found my honesty.
No, this is your wife's voice, your sniveling, envious wife. This is Rebecca's voice, Martha Corey's voice. You were no hypocrite.
I'll prove you for the fraud you are.
And if they ask you what dear Abigail, why she did so murderous a deed, what will you tell them?
I will tell them why.
You will confess to fornication in the court?
If you will have it so I will tell it. I say I will. Hear me! Can you still hear? Hear this. You will say you are blind to spirits and you cannot hear them anymore. And if you call out one more person, I will make you famous for the whore you are.
Never in this world! I know you, John Proctor. You are at this moment singing secret hallelujahs that your wife will hang.
You mad! You murderous bitch!
Oh, how hard it is when pretense falls. But it falls. You have done your duty by her. I pray it is your last hypocrisy. I hope you will come again with sweeter news for me. I know you will, now that your duty is done. Good night, John. Fear not, I will save you tomorrow. From yourself, I will save you.
Now, Martha Corey, there is abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I don't know what a witch is.
How do you know then that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I did not hurt them. I scored it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will keep yours.
Thomas Putnam was reaching court. I bring evidence.
Lady, calm a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife in a moment.
A moment, sir, a moment.
How do you dare come roaring into this court? Are you gone daft, Corey?
None of Boston does yet, Hathorn. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, and a more contentious...
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it, Mr. Paris. My name is Corey, sir, Giles Corey. I own 600 acres of land and timber in addition. It is my wife you be condemning now.
How do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous rights? Now be gone, you. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They're telling lies about
Then
my
you
wife,
take
sir.
it upon yourself to decide what this court shall believe and what it shall set aside?
Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect.
Disrespect, indeed. It is disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you understand it?
Your Excellency, I only said she would read in books, sir, and they come and take her out of my house for...
What books? What?
It is my third wife, sir, and I never had no wife that be so taken with books, don't you understand? And I thought to find the cause of it. But there were no witch I blamed her for. I have broke charity with the woman. I have broke charity with her.
Excellency, he claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think in all justice you must...
Then let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You aware of our procedure here, Mr. Hale? Willard, clear this room.
Come now, Giles.
We are desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife's Rebecca that were condemned this morning.
Indeed. I'm amazed to find you in such uproar. I've only good report of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think we should both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you write your plea in due time.
Excellency, we have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls, sir, the girls are frauds.
What's what?
We have proof of it, sir. They are all deceiving you.
This is contempt, sir. Contempt.
Please, Judge Hathorn. You know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, sir. And I think you must be a very wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that near 400 lie in jail for Marblehead to Lynn upon my signature? And 72 condemned to hang by that signature.
Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
You should speak with the deputy governor.
Did you not tell me Mary Warren was sick in bed last week?
Sure, Your Honor. When I went to fetch her last week, she said she was sick. She's been striving with her soul all week, Your Honor. She comes now to tell the truth to you.
Indeed. Who is this?
I'm John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware of this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
Excellency, I think you must hear the girl.
Peace! What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits?
Never.
I have her deposition, sir.
No, I'll accept no depositions. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given this story out in the village?
No, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, I take it you come to declare this revelation in open court before the public?
Aye, sir. I thought I would.
Indeed. Now, let us begin. Mr. Proctor, you sit there.
Aye, sir.
Mayor Warren, you sit there. Mr. Proctor, your deposition, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Proctor, before we shall begin these testimonies, I must bid you that your wife has sent me a claim in which she states she is now pregnant.
My wife is pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We have examined her body.
If she says she is pregnant, then she must be. My wife will never lie, sir.
Will not?
Never.
I shall tell you now, Mr. Proctor, I will let you be kept another month, and if she begin to show her natural signs, you will have her living yet another year. What say you to that? Come now, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then. She's safe for at least this year, and a year is long. What say you? It's done now. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
They've come to open the court, Your Honor.
No, these men are my friends. Their wives are also.
I judge you not, sir. Sit down. I'm ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only...
Marshal, go into the judge and bid Judge Stoughton and Judge Sewell declare recess for 1 hour, and let them go to the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building.
Excuse me, sir. I've known him all my life. He's a good man, sir.
I'm sure of it, Marshal. Now, Mr. Proctor, we shall move on to this deposition.
Thank you, sir.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
Aye. This is Mr. Corey's deposition, sir.
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know I have no legal training, Hathorne.
It's very well phrased. My compliments. Mr. Cheever. Mr. Putnam is in court. Bring him out. You say you have no legal training, Mr. Corey.
I have the best, sir. 33 times in plaintiff in my 33 times in court in my lifetime. And always plaintiff as well.
Oh, then you're much put upon, then.
I am never put upon. I know my rights, sir. And I will have them. You know, your father tried a case of mine. It might be 35 years ago now, I think.
Indeed.
He ever spoke to you of it?
No, I cannot recall.
Strange. You were a fair judge, your father. You see, this case involved, at the time I owned a white mare, and this fellow came to borrow the mare, and... Aye, there he is, Putnam.
Mr. Putnam. I have here an accusation by Mr. Corey that states that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs that now lies in jail.
It is a lie?
Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie. What say you to that?
Fart on Thomas Putnam, that's what I'd say to that.
What proof do you have to submit for your charge?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, Putnam will forfeit up all his land. There's no one with a coin greater to buy... There's no one with a coin greater to buy such a piece of land like that. This man is killing his neighbors for their land.
But proof, sir, proof.
The proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard Jacob say it. The day his daughter cried out, he said she'd given him a fair gift of land.
And the name of this man?
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Why, I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
You know well why not. If I tell you the name of the man, he'll lay in jail. I got it in confidence.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danvers.
Well, surely tell us the name.
I cannot give you no name, sir. I mentioned my wife's name once, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
In that case, we might have to arrest you in contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare the court in full session here, or will you give me good reply?
I will not give you no name, sir.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the record. I ask you, Mr. Coy, for the name of him who...
Sir, he has told you this story in confidence, sir.
The devil lives in such confidences. Without confidences, there would be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if your informant speak true, let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hides in anonymity, I must know why. Now, sir, the Central Church and government demand him, the name of him who reported Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency, we cannot blink it no more. There is a prodigious fear of the court in this country.
There's a prodigious fear in the country because there's a prodigious guilt in the country. Are you not afraid to be questioned here?
I may fear only the Lord, sir, but there is a prodigious fear nonetheless.
Reproach me not with fear. There's fear in the country because there's a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that every man accused is a part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court. None. Mr. Corey, you are arrested in contempt of this court. Now I bid you sit down and take counsel with yourself, or you will be set in jail until you decide to answer all questions.
No, Giles!
I'll cut your throat, put them! I'll kill you yet!
Peace, Giles, peace. You'll prove it now. Sit down.
Say nothing more, John. He means to hang us all.
This is a court of law, sir. I'll have no effrontery here.
Peace, Giles. Remember Mary, what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Keep it now. There's your rock. Mary Warren's deposition, sir. She said months ago that she saw spirits and that they afflicted her. But now she is saying that she is a liar.
We know all this.
Aye, sir. She never saw no spirits. She confesses that.
She does. Indeed.
Just a moment, if I may. I think this goes to the heart of the matter, sir.
Surely does.
I cannot say if he is an honest man, I know him little, but in all justice, sir, a claim so weighty cannot be made by a common farmer. This argument, sir, that lawyers present to you.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
I have signed 72 death warrants. I'm a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take another life without there be proof so immaculate no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Surely do not doubt my justice, Mr. Hale.
I signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse this morning, Your Honor. I'll not conceal it. My hand still shakes like that with a wound. I beg you, sir, let this argument lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such little learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I've been 32 years at the bar, sir, and I should be confounded were I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls upon witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto, on its face, by its nature, an invisible crime. Therefore, who may bear witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now we cannot hope that the witches will accuse themselves. Granted, therefore, we must rely upon their victims. And they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, no one will deny that we are most eager for their confessions. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I've made my point, have I not?
But the child claims the girls are not truthful, and they are not.
Precisely what I'm about to consider. What more may you ask of me? Unless you doubt my probity.
I surely do not, sir. Let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart at rest. Now we shall go to her deposition, Mr. Potter.
I have no lawyers, so I'll...
The pure in heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Aye, sir. But first, can you look at this? It is a sort of testament. These people have signed away their name, saying that they trust and believe in our goodwill of Rebecca Nurse, Martha Corey, my wife Elizabeth Proctor.
Indeed. How many names are here?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning. I don't think it is an attack yet.
These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for the courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for us. And I think you would like to know from each and every one of them what discontents them with you.
I think you should be examined, sir.
Indeed. Mr. Cheever, I have warrants drawn up for all these. Arrests for examination.
Mr. Danforth, I gave them all my word no harm would come to them for signing this.
And then I'm sure they have nothing to fear.
I have brought trouble on these people.
No, old man, you have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or must be counted against it. This is a sharp time now, a precise time. We no longer live in the dusky afternoon in which evil mixes itself with good and befuddles the world. Now, by God's grace, the sun is shining, and then that fear not light will surely praise it. I hope you will be one of those. She's not hardy, I see.
No, sir. She's not. Remember what the angel said to Tobias. Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Come, man, we wait you.
Aye. Her deposition, sir. She states that all of these girls are liars.
Indeed. Mr. Cheever.
Ruth Putnam's not in court, nor the others.
These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. Your friend Mary Warren has given us a deposition in which she states that she never saw no familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifests of the devil. She claims as well that neither of you seen any of these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law. The law based upon the Bible writ by Almighty God, forbid the practice of witchcraft and describe death as penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the Bible damn all liars and bearers of false witness. Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It could well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract us from our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if she speak true, I bid you drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there truth in any of this?
No, sir.
Children, a very augur bit will turn in your souls until your honesty is proven. Will either of you change your positions, or will you force me to hard questioning?
I have not to change, sir. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
A poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court while she made it, and witnessed how she herself struck a needle into it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
Well, you worked for Mr. Proctor. Were there other poppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept poppets.
My wife never kept no poppets, sir. Mary Warren confesses it was her poppet.
Your Excellency, Miss Proctor said that she kept pockets when she was a child, but she never kept any more pockets since then.
She has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a poppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
A poppet will keep if it is kept. But, Your Honor, they say they never saw no poppets.
Now, why could there have been poppets hid but no one ever saw them?
There might have been 2 golden candlesticks in my house, but I never saw them.
We are here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
Your Honor, this girl means to murder my wife.
This child would murder your wife?
It is not a child, sir. Hear this. Twice this month she was put out of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's this? Laughter during...
Excellency.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
No, I do believe it happened once, but she is silly sometimes. She is now solemn.
Aye, she's solemn to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Surely it have no bearing on the matter. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye, but it does strike me that she would laugh during prayer. Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, now tell the deputy governor how Abigail led you to the woods to dance.
Excellency, since I came to see him, this man is blackening my name. This
In a moment! What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor.
Abigail Williams led them out into the woods in the middle of the night. They have danced there naked.
Your Honor, this...
Mr. Paris discovered them there in the dead of night, dancing. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris?
I can say, sir, that I never saw any of them naked.
Did you discover them in the woods dancing? Abigail!
Excellency, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
No, but I tell you true that I never saw any of them naked.
But she had danced.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me?
Pray proceed.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary. Were never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agent.
No, sir.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits had come out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretense, sir.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense, sir.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times, and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth.
I saw that many times.
They were pretending, sir. We're all marvelous pretenders.
And can't you pretend to faint now?
Now?
Why not? There are no spirits attacking you, but none in this room are accused of witchcraft. So let her turn herself cold. Let her faint. Faint!
Faint?
I faint. Prove to us how you pretend in court so many times.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Well, why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell, sir.
Might it be that we have no afflicting spirits here, but there were some in the courtroom?
I never saw no spirits.
Then see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can't faint by your own will, as you claim.
I cannot do it.
And then you will confess, will you not?
No, sir.
Your Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them?
But I did not.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell, sir. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seem to believe them, and it were only in sport in the beginning, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Now surely your Excellency is taken by this simple lie.
Abigail Williams. I bid you search your heart now and beware of it, child. To God, every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on them that take life without cause. Is it possible, child, that the spirits that you are seeing are only some illusion, some deception that make us...
This is a base question, sir.
Child, I would have you consider...
I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered each day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied, questioned.
Child, I do not mistrust...
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you to be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is...
Child, what is it?
I know not. Wind, a cold wind has come.
Happy, Your Honor, I freeze.
They're pretending, mister.
She's cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Mary, do you set this shadow on me?
Lord, save me! I freeze!
Abby, don't do that!
Mary Warren, do you witch her? I say, did you send your spirit out?
Mr. Proctor, let me go.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away the shadow!
Oh, and what do you? How dare you talk? It is a whore.
Mr. Danforth, he's lying.
Mark her. Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with, but you will see. You will prove this. This will not pass. I have known her, sir. I have known her.
You are a lecher?
John, you cannot.
No, Francis. It is true. I am a lecher.
In what time? In what place?
We're 8 months now, sir. 8 months. She used to serve me, sir, in my house. My wife, my dear good wife, she took her soon after and put her on the high road. Forgive me, sir. Forgive me. For I thought of her softly, and she thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave, and well she might. I thought of her softly. I lusted. There's a promise in such sweat. God help me. God help me.
You deny every scrap and tittle of this?
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave and I will not come back.
She does not deny, Mr. Danforth. She does
You
not
will
deny.
remain where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Paris, going from court to bring Goodwife Proctor out, and speak not one word of what's been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. We shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman.
Aye, sir. In her life she had never lied. There are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep. My wife cannot lie.
And when she put this girl out of your house, she put her out for harlotry?
Aye, sir.
And knew her for a harlot?
She did.
Good then. And if she tell me it were for harlotry, then may God spread his mercy on you. Hold! Turn your back. Turn your back. You do likewise. Now let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in the room is to speak one word or raise a gesture, aye or nay. Enter. Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. You will look at me only, not at your husband, in my eyes only.
Good, sir.
We come to understand that at one point you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
I did, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her?
She...
Woman, look at me. The answer is in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me.
She dissatisfied me.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Woman, look at me. Were it slovenly? Lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
In that time I was sick, see, and my husband is a good and righteous man. Never done no wrong, not getting drunk or wasted time at the shovel board. I was sick after my last baby, see, and my husband started to go distant from me, and this girl...
Woman, look at me.
Yes, sir, Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a good and righteous man.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Woman, look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Elizabeth, tell the truth! Elizabeth!
She has spoken, remove her.
Elizabeth, I've confessed it!
Oh, John!
She had only thought to save my name. Please, sir.
Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you, stop now before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it. No more private vengeance is working its way through this testimony. From the very beginning, this man has struck me true. I beg you, stop now before his wife is taken.
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lies.
I believe him. From the very beginning, this girl has always struck me false.
You will not! Be gone! Be gone, I say!
What is it?
It's on the beam, behind the raft.
Where?
Why? Why do you come, yellow bird?
I see no bird.
My face? My face!
Mr. Hale,
Be quiet.
do you see a bird?
Be quiet.
But God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Oh, envy is a deadly sin, Mary.
Abby!
No, I cannot stop my mouth. It is God's work I do.
Abby, I'm here!
Mary Ward, why does she see this vision?
You cannot believe them.
She sees nothing!
She sees nothing!
Abby, you mustn't!
Abby, you mustn't!
I'm here! I'm here!
I'm here! I'm here!
Have you seen the devil?
Mr. Danforth!
Mr. Danforth!
So you have seen the devil. You have made a compact with Lucifer.
Never, never!
Never, never!
Why can they only repeat you?
Give me a whip, I'll stop it!
They're sporting!
They're sporting!
Abby, stop it!
Abby, stop it! Stop it! Stop
A little while ago, you were afflicted. Now it seems you afflict others. Where have you gained this power?
Mister, they're gulling you.
You have seen the devil, have you not?
They're gulling you, mister. Goddamn's all liars, Mary.
You have seen the devil. You have made a compact with Lucifer. have
Mary,
you not?
goddamn's all liars.
I cannot hear you. What do you say? I say you will confess or you will hang.
Remember the angel Tobias.
Do you know who I am? I say
His wings are spreading! Oh, she's on the beam! She's on the beam! She's coming down! Look out! Oh, Mary, please don't! Look out!
Mary,
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Mary, what?
You are the devil's man!
Oh, praise God!
he bid you do the devil's work.
He come by me at night and every day to sign.
Sign what? The devil's book. He come with the book.
My name, he want my name. I'll murder you, he says. If my wife hangs, we must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale, I hope you're not taking this for proof.
He
Mary!
come behind me and at night and his eyes were like coals and his fingers clawed my neck and I sighed.
Excellency, the child's gone wild.
Mary!
No, I'm going to bring no more. I love God. I bless God. And Abby, I'll never hurt you no more.
What are you? You are combined with the Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power, mister. You will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. These girls are frauds to condemn an honest man.
I will have nothing from you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself befouled with hell, or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God is dead.
Oh, God, hear it.
A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer, I see his filthy face. It is my face and yours stand forth. For them that quail to bring men out of ignorance, as I have quailed and as you quail yet, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud. God damns our kind especially, and we will burn together.
Sarah, wake up. Sarah, good. Tituba.
Oh, Majesty, come in, come in. Tituba, he's here. His Majesty's come.
Come now, come. Clear this place.
Oh, that don't look to me like His Majesty. It looks to me like the Marshal.
Oh, Marshal, is that you? I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me going away?
Where are you off to, Sarah?
We going home. Soon as the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings.
A good voyage to you.
A pair of bluebirds winging suddenly the two of us. Oh, it would be a grand transformation, Marshal.
You must see me now, you'll never rise off the ground.
I'll speak to him for you if you desire to come along, Marshal.
I would not refuse it. It's the proper morning to fly into hell.
Oh, but ain't no hell. Devil, him be a pleasure man. Him be singing and dancing. You folks, you rouse him up round here. It'd be too cold for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts. But he's just sweet and kind and... That's it! That's it!
The deputy governor has arrived.
Come now, come.
No, I'm going home. Devil's coming for me.
Ain't no thing. There's a poor old cow with a hat full of milk.
Take me home, Devil, take me home.
Tell her I'm going, Tituba. Now you tell him Sarah Good is going too.
Good morning, Excellency.
Where is Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
Why, it was midnight, I believe.
What's his business here?
Why, he sits with those who will hang, and he prays with them. He sits with Gibby's nurse now, and prayers with him.
Indeed. The men have no authority to enter here, Marshal. Why have you let him in?
Why, prayers command me, sir, and I cannot deny him.
Are you drunk, Marshal?
No, sir, it's a bitter night, and I have no fire here.
Fetch Paris.
Aye, sir.
There is a prodigious stench in this place.
Why, I only just now cleared the people out for you.
Beware hard drink, Marshal.
Aye, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised if he's been preaching in Andover lately.
We'll get to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That's strange.
I think sometimes Paris has a mad look these days.
Mad?
I met him yesterday coming out of his house. I bid him good morning, and he wept, and went his way. I think it is not well the village sees him so unsteady.
Perhaps he has some sorrow. I think it'd be the cows.
The cows?
There be so many cows wandering the high roads now that all their masters be in jail. And much disagreement over who they belong to now. I know Mr. Paris we argued all yesterday with the farmers. There is great contention, sir. Contention making weak. I always knew there was a man who weak for contention.
Mr. Paris should arrive any minute. Mr. Paris?
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon waking me so early. Good morning, Judge Halpdorf.
Reverend Hale have no right to enter this.
Excellency, a moment.
Do you leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Excellency, hear me. Reverend Hill has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse back to God.
He bids her confess?
Hear me. Rebecca Nurse has not given me a word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with him and her sister and Martha Corey and 2 or 3 others that he pleaded them to confess their crimes and save their lives.
Why, this is indeed a providence. And they soften. They soften?
Not yet, not yet. But I have thought to some of you, whether they might be wise to, there is news, sir. News that the court must reckon with. My niece, I believe she has vanished.
Vanished?
I had thought to advise you of it earlier in the week, but...
Why? How long has she been gone?
This be the 3rd night. Miss Lewis is gone too.
I will send a party for them. Where might they be?
Excellency, I think they'd be aboard a ship. My daughter Taylor was speaking of the ships last week, and tonight I have discovered that my strong box is broken into.
She have robbed you?
31 pounds is gone. I am penniless.
You are a brainless man, Mr. Paris.
Now, apart from nothing, you should blame me, Your Excellency. I cannot think they were enough except they fear to keep in Salem. Since news of Andover has broken here.
Andover is remedied. The courts return there Friday for examinations.
I am sure of it, sir, but the roommate here speaks rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover!
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown out the courts. They will have no part in witchcraft. They say there will be a faction of England that news, and I tell you the truth, sir. I feel there will be a riot here.
Right. Why, every execution I've seen not with high satisfaction in the town.
Judge Hathorne, they were a little sure that hangs her now. Recognize no Bridget that lived 3 years a bishop before she married him. John Proctor is no Isaac Word that drank his family to ruin. You let Rebecca Nurse stand upon that gibbet and send us some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll make a vengeance on you.
Excellency, she's condemned.
Pray you! How do you propose then?
Excellency, I would postpone the hanging for a time.
There will be no postponement.
Now Mr. Hales arrived, there was hope, I think. For if he brings even one of these to God, that confession surely damns the other in the public eye, and none may doubt that they are all leading to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and on the purpose is lost in their tears.
Cheever, give me the list. Now, sir, which of these do you have hope for?
There isn't sufficient time to dawn.
Which of these do you have hope for? And I will strive with him until dawn. Which of these do you have hope for?
There is not sufficient time to dawn.
Mr. Paris, I ask you again, which of these do you have hope for?
And there is not a sufficient time to dawn.
Indeed. What's of Mr. Proctor? What do you think? His name is upon this list. Might he be brought to God? What say you, Judge Halpern? Accept my congratulations, Reverend Hale. We're glad to see you return to your good work.
You must pardon them, they will not budge.
You misunderstand me, sir. I cannot hang these when 12 are hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
The record will not confess?
Some will rise in a few minutes, Excellency. I must have more time.
Now hear me and beguile yourselves no longer. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are executed. The names of these 7 given out, and the village expects to see them die at dawn. Postponement now speaks floundering on my part. Pardon or reprieve may cast doubts upon them that have hanged till now. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If retaliation is your fear, know this: I should hang 10,000 that dare rise against the law, and notion of salt tears will not melt the resolution of the statutes. Now draw yourselves up like you are bound by heaven to do and help me. Have you spoken with them all, Mr. Hale?
All but Proctor, he's in the dungeon.
Willard, What's Proctor's way now?
Why, he sits like some great bird. You know not that he lives, except he takes food from time to time.
His wife. His wife must be well on with the child.
She is, sir.
Indeed. Mr. Paris, you have knowledge of the man. Might your presence soften him?
It is possible, sir. He have not given her word this 3 months since she came. I should summon her.
Is he yet adamant? Has he struck at you again?
He cannot, sir. He has changed the law now.
Fetch Goody Proctor to me and then bring him up on after.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, if you postpone the executions now, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God has not empowered me like Joshua to stop this sun from rising, so I cannot withhold them from the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken.
You have heard of rebellion spoken in Salem?
There are orphans wandering from house to house. Abandoned cattle bellow on the highroads. The smell of rotting crops fills the air, and no man may know when the harlot's drive will end his life. And you wonder if rebellion's been spoken? That you should marvel they do not burn your province.
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
God may have needed me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why disciple? I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians should they belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush! Goody Proctor, I hope you are hardy.
I am yet 3 months before my time, 6 months before my time.
Pray be at your ease. We come not for your life. We... Mr. Hale, did you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection to the court. I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I wish to save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I would count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
I've gone this 3 months like our Lord in the wilderness. I've sought a Christian way, for damnation's double on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot...
It is a lie. They are innocent.
No more, no more. I'll hear no more of that.
Let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom bearing gifts for his beloved. The very crowns of holy religion I brought. And where I touched my great confidence, it died. And where I turned my eye to my faith, blood flowed up. Beware, Goody Proctor. Cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads to sacrifice. Life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. Prevail upon your husband. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for it may be that God damns a liar less than he who throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God, we are as swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning for it.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you? He will die at dawn. Your husband. Will you contend with him? Are you stone? I tell you, woman, had I no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you have delivered your soul up to hell. The very ape would weep at such a calamity. Had the devil dried up any tear of pity in you? Take her up. It should profit nothing she should speak with him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
So you strive with him?
Will you plead for his confession or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Indeed.
Pray leave them, Excellency.
Mr. Proctor, I hope you have been notified. Come, man. There's lights in the sky. Let you take counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn his back on hell.
If you desire to come beside her, God leads you now.
You are chained.
Aye. The child.
It grows.
The boys.
They're with Rebecca's Daniel.
You have not seen them?
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth. They come for my life.
I know it.
who have confessed.
There be many confessed.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more. Isaiah Goodkind is one. Goody Ballard is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
No, not Rebecca. She's 1 foot in heaven now. Not may hurt her more.
And Giles?
Have you not heard?
I hear nothing where I am kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He will not answer his indictment night or day. For if he denied, he would surely be hung and his property auctioned off. So he died a Christian under the law, and his property was left to his sons.
And how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press him?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he answered his indictment. They say he gave them not but 2 words. Or wait, he says, and died.
Or wait.
A fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I've been thinking I would give them my confession. What say you if I give it now?
Whatever you will do, it is as I would want it. I want you living, John. That's sure.
What about Giles' wife?
She will not confess.
It is a hard lie to give to dogs that have not run long before. I have no goodness in me.
You have not answered until now. That speak of goodness in you.
Spite. Spite only keep me silent. It is a hard lie to give to dogs.
John,
Forgive me, Elizabeth. I ask for your forgiveness.
it is not mine to give. Will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Only know this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is as a good man does it. I have read my heart this 3 months. I have sins of my own to count. It takes a cold wife to promise lechery.
Enough! Enough!
Better you should know me. You take my sins upon you, John.
No, I take only my own. Nothing but.
I counted myself so plain, so poorly made. No honest love could ever touch me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I didn't know how to share my love. It were a cold house I
What say
kept.
you, Proctor? The sun is soon up.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself?
I will have my life.
God be praised! It is a providence. He will confess. Proctor will confess.
Why are you crying? It is evil, is it not?
I cannot judge you, John. I cannot.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor?
I cannot be your judge. I cannot be.
It is evil. Good then. It is evil and I do it.
Praise be to God, man. Praise be to God. You will be blessed in heaven for this. Now, Mr. Cheever.
Why must it be written?
Why, for good instruction of the village, we shall post it upon the church door. Now then, we speak slowly, clearly, and directly to the point for Mr. Cheever's sake. Mr. Proctor, have you seen the devil in your life?
I have.
And when he come to you, what were his demands? Did he bid you do his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Ah, Rebecca, there, come in, woman.
John, you are well then, eh?
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example so that she may come to God herself. Now, say on, Mr. Proctor, did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Why, John,
Take her out.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you see Rebecca nurse in his company?
I did not.
Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified that they've seen this woman with the devil.
Then it is proved. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Why, you should rejoice that your soul is purged for any love of hell.
They think to go like saints. I like not to spoil that from them.
Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints? Look, you, sir, I think you mistake your duty here. It matters not what she thought. She's convicted of the unnatural murder of children, and you for sending out your spirit upon Mary Warren. Your soul alone is the issue here, and you will prove its whiteness, or you cannot live in a Christian country. Mr. Proctor, will you now tell us what persons conspired with you with the devil? To your knowledge, has Rebecca Nurse ever been seen with the devil?
I have not seen her with the devil.
Did you see her sister Mary Easty with the devil?
I have not.
Did you see Martha Coy with the devil?
I have not.
Did you see anyone with the devil?
No!
Proctor, you mistake me. I'm not empowered to trade your life for a lie. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified that they have seen this woman with the devil.
I cannot speak for another's sins. I have no tongue for it.
Excellency, it is enough he confesses himself. Let him sign it. Let him sign it.
Come then. Sign your testimony. Mr. Cheever, take it to him. If you please, sir.
Why must I sign it?
You will not sign it? You give me your full name or it is no confession. Your second name, man? If you please.
No. No, you cannot have this.
Mr. Proctor, I must have.
No! No. I have confessed. It is enough.
No, you have not confessed.
I have. God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
Mr. Parrish, what think you?
John, the village must have proof.
Damn the village! I have confessed myself, and I have signed it. God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
It is not.
It is enough. God sees my name on this. God knows my name. God sees how black my sins are. It is enough. Is there no good penitence but it be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are.
But you have not confessed.
I have confessed. It is no part of salvation that you should use me.
Mr. Proctor, I do not wish to use
I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. I am John Proctor. It is no part of salvation that you should use me.
Then tell me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not let the court see this. Let the court view it.
I will not have it. What I sign and what I say are different.
What, do you mean to deny this confession?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then tell me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not...
Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies! Because I'm not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang.
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. You give me your honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the room. What way do you go? Marshal!
Man, you will hang, you cannot! Pray and speak some goodness in me. Show them no tear. Give them a heart of stone and sink them with it.
Let you fear nothing. There is another judgment waits us all.
Hang them high over town! Whoever weeps for these weeps for corruption.
I have not had breakfast.
Go to him. There was yet time.
Well, but Proctor, it is pride, his vanity, what profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him and take his shame away!
You have this goodness now. God forbid I take that from him.